Have you ever noticed how some seniors stay strong and active, while others struggle to walk just a few steps? What if I told you that the secret lies in what they eat? Let me tell you about Mr. Harold, 78 years old. Just last year, he was the kind of man who took pride in his morning walks. Rain or shine, he was out there, moving like he was decades younger. But then something changed. At first, it was subtle. His legs felt a little heavier. Stairs became more of a challenge. "It's just old age," he told himself. But then one morning, as he swung his legs out of bed, they nearly gave out beneath him. He grabbed the nightstand just in time to stop a fall. That was the moment Harold realized. His legs were failing him. And here's the shocking truth. This is happening to millions of seniors. Muscle loss, weak knees, aching joints, these aren't just signs of aging, they're warning signals. But the good news? You can fight back. The right foods can help keep your legs strong, steady, and pain-free. And today, I'm going to show you the 4 most powerful foods that can make all the difference. Let's get started. The first food, leafy greens. Mrs. Eleanor, 75 years old, always prided herself on keeping things simple. Cooking elaborate meals? Not for her. She stuck to whatever was quick and easy, mostly bread, pasta, and the occasional meat dish. Vegetables? She barely touched them, especially leafy greens. "Those are for rabbits," she would joke. But as the years passed, something alarming started happening. Her legs no longer felt as strong as they once did. At first, it was just a little stiffness in the morning, nothing she couldn't shake off. But soon, simple tasks became difficult. Climbing the stairs left her legs aching. Standing for too long made her knees feel wobbly. One afternoon, while reaching for a plate in her kitchen, her legs suddenly buckled slightly. That was the moment Eleanor realized. She wasn't just feeling old. Her legs were getting weaker, and she had no idea why. What Eleanor didn't know was that skipping leafy greens had taken a toll on her body. Vegetables like spinach, kale, and collard greens are powerhouses of essential nutrients. They're loaded with magnesium, vitamin K, and calcium, all of which are critical for muscle strength and bone health. Magnesium helps with muscle function and relaxation, vitamin K supports bone density, and calcium keeps bones strong. Without these nutrients, muscles weaken, bones become fragile, and mobility starts to decline. After a visit to her doctor, Eleanor was shocked to learn how much her diet was affecting her legs. Determined to regain her strength, she made a simple change. She started adding spinach and kale to her meals. A handful of spinach in her morning eggs, a kale salad at lunch, and some sautéed greens with dinner. It wasn't a drastic change, but it was enough to start making a difference. Within weeks, she noticed improvements. Getting up from her chair felt easier. She wasn't as wobbly on her feet. And for the first time in months, she climbed her stairs without stopping halfway to rest. Slowly but surely, her confidence returned, and so did her strength. So, if you've been skipping your greens like Eleanor once did, it's time to rethink your plate. The right nutrition isn't just about staying healthy. It's about staying independent, active, and strong. Start adding leafy greens to your diet today, and your legs will thank you for it. The second food, fatty fish. Mr. Walter, 80 years old, spent most of his life by the sea. As a retired fisherman, the ocean was his second home, and fish was always on his plate. Salmon, sardines, mackerel, he ate them all, almost daily. He never thought twice about his diet, because his legs were strong, his knees never ached, and he moved like a man much younger than his age. But after retiring, Walter's routine changed. He no longer fished, and over time fish became less frequent in his meals. He started eating more processed foods, skipping the seafood he once enjoyed. At first, he didn't notice much of a difference, but then his knees started to ache. Walking to the store felt harder, and getting up from his chair took extra effort. He dismissed it as normal aging, until one day he realized something shocking. Instead of heading outside like he used to, he was spending most of his time sitting, avoiding movement altogether. His once active legs now felt stiff and sluggish. What Walter didn't realize was that cutting fish from his diet had robbed his body of a crucial nutrient, omega-3 fatty acids. These healthy fats found in fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel play a vital role in reducing inflammation, improving blood flow, and supporting muscle function. Without them, joints can become stiff, muscles weaken, and mobility declines. Inflammation, especially in the knees, can make walking painful and discourage movement, leading to a downward spiral of inactivity. One day, while talking to an old fishing buddy, Walter mentioned his struggles. His friend, still an active fisherman, asked him a simple question. "When was the last time you had a good piece of fish?" That conversation stuck with him. That evening, Walter made himself a plate of grilled salmon, just like he used to. The taste brought back memories, but more importantly, it set him on a path to reclaiming his health. Over the next few weeks, he made fish a regular part of his meals again, eating it at least 3 times a week. The changes were subtle at first, but soon his knees didn't ache as much. Standing up felt easier. And one day, without even realizing it, he took a longer walk than he had in months. His legs were coming back to life. Walter's story is a powerful reminder. What you eat directly affects how you move. If you want to keep your legs strong and pain-free, don't ignore the power of fatty fish. Add it to your meals regularly and your body will thank you for it. The third food, beans and lentils. Grandma Rose, 74 years old, always believed that strength came from one thing: meat. Growing up, she was taught that if you wanted strong muscles, you needed to eat plenty of beef, chicken, or pork, beans, lentils. She never saw them as real sources of strength, so she ignored them. But as the years passed, something concerning started happening. Her muscles felt weaker, her legs tired easily, and she simply didn't have the stamina she once had. At first, she thought it was just aging, but then she noticed how quickly she became exhausted. Walking up the stairs left her breathless, and standing in the kitchen for too long made her legs feel shaky. She wasn't just slowing down, she felt like she was losing her energy completely. One day, after nearly stumbling while carrying groceries inside, she realized something had to change. What Grandma Rose didn't realize was that her diet was missing a key ingredient: plant-based protein. While meat provides protein, beans and lentils offer something even more powerful: a combination of protein, fiber, and essential minerals like potassium, which helps with muscle recovery and prevents cramping. The fiber in beans also supports digestion, helping the body absorb nutrients more efficiently, while the protein helps maintain muscle mass. Without these nutrients, muscles weaken, energy levels drop, and mobility starts to decline. One evening, while visiting her sister, Rose was served a warm bowl of lentil soup. She hesitated at first, but decided to give it a try. To her surprise, she enjoyed it. Her sister explained how lentils were a staple in her diet and how they helped her stay active and strong. That conversation stuck with Rose, and she decided to make a small change. She started having lentil soup every day. Within a few weeks, she noticed something different. Her energy levels improved. She wasn't feeling as sluggish in the afternoons, and her legs didn't feel as heavy. Climbing stairs became easier, and she didn't have to sit down as often to rest. The change was so noticeable that even her friends started asking what she was doing differently. Grandma Rose's story is proof that strength doesn't come from just one source. If you want to keep your legs strong and your energy high, don't overlook the power of beans and lentils. Adding them to your meals, even in small amounts, can make a big difference in your mobility and stamina. Try it for yourself and feel the change. The fourth food: dairy and alternatives. Grandpa Joe, 77 years old, had always been a strong man. He worked hard his entire life and believed that drinking milk was something only kids needed. "I don't need that stuff anymore," he'd say, waving off cheese, yogurt, or even a glass of milk with his morning coffee. For years, he avoided dairy completely, thinking it had no real benefit for someone his age. But one day, that belief cost him dearly. It happened on a regular afternoon. Joe was out for a walk when he stepped off a curb. Nothing extreme, no accident, just a simple misstep. But instead of regaining his balance, he felt a sharp pain shoot through his ankle. He had fractured a bone just from stepping down wrong. That moment shocked him. How could something so small cause such a serious injury? At the hospital, the doctor gave him a wake-up call. "Joe, your bones aren't as strong as they used to be. You're lacking calcium and vitamin D." The truth is, dairy provides essential nutrients like calcium and vitamin D, both of which are critical for bone and muscle health. Calcium keeps bones strong, reducing the risk of fractures, while vitamin D helps the body absorb calcium properly. Without these nutrients, bones become brittle, muscles weaken, and the body becomes more prone to injuries, just like what happened to Joe. Determined to regain his strength, Joe decided to make a change. He added Greek yogurt to his breakfast, sprinkled a little cheese onto his meals, and even started drinking a glass of milk a few times a week. He also learned that for those who can't have dairy, alternatives like almond milk, fortified soy products, and leafy greens could still provide these essential nutrients. As weeks went by, Joe noticed the difference. His recovery improved, his legs felt sturdier, and he wasn't as afraid of simple movements anymore. When he walked, he felt more stable, and his confidence slowly returned. He even told his friends, "I never thought a little yogurt and cheese could make such a difference, but here I am, walking better than I have in years." Joe's story is a reminder that strong legs start with strong bones. If you want to prevent injuries and keep moving with confidence, don't ignore the power of calcium and vitamin D. Whether it's dairy or a fortified alternative, make sure your bones are getting what they need before it's too late. Conclusion: your legs are your foundation, and if you don't take care of them, they will fade first. But the good news? You have the power to keep them strong. Just like Mr. Harold, Mrs. Eleanor, Mr. Walter, Grandma Rose, and Grandpa Joe, simple changes in your diet can make all the difference. Leafy greens, fatty fish, beans, and lentils and dairy aren't just foods. They're the fuel your legs need to keep you moving, active, and independent. Now, before you go, I have a question for you. Do you think these foods are important for seniors? If your answer is yes, comment 9 below. If you're still unsure, comment 0. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tips on staying strong and healthy as you age. Take care, and see you in the next video.